Stick here. You join me on another very hot day here in southern Abruzzo. Got a couple of things to talk about on the midweek video. One we'll come to in a moment, but the first things first. The hot weather that you've no doubt been seeing on the news has been affecting northern France, Germany, parts of Eastern Europe, is kind of making its way down here. Now, it's normally very hot in this part of Italy at this time of year, but there's this kind of added temperature and it is boiling hot. So for this weekend I'm not going to do the normal visit to one of the wonderful towns or villages. It's simply too hot. You've seen what the streets are like, up and down the steps, very narrow, no air movement, and to attempt to do a video in those kind of conditions, 40 degrees plus, would be at best stupid and at worst possibly damaging to my health. So I'm sure you'll agree with me to say I'll take this weekend off and have a little bit of rest and relaxation away from walking through these wonderful places. It's a bit of a shame because I do enjoy doing it, but given the weather conditions, I think it would be, as I say, stupid at best. And I'll be back to do another site visit in a week or two's time when the temperatures are less suicidal. Okay, that's that out of the way. The public interest information is out the way. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at this, our Gator 825i all-terrain vehicle, a vehicle that shares a place in our garage and certainly does a job for a living, the Gator 825i. So welcome to our Deere Gator XUV 590. I've no idea why I called it an 825. I normally get the numbers wrong on this particular one, but that's what we've got. It's all-terrain vehicle, made in America, obviously, by John Deere. It's a workhorse, certainly here for us on the old farmstead. It's nice and muddy. I like it that way. I was thinking about cleaning and polishing it up, but it is a working vehicle. It is definitely not a toy. Although you can have a lot of fun in it, and we certainly will do when we do the second part of this article. Just to go through a few of the specs. It's a four-stroke inline twin electronic fuel injection overhead valve unit. Its displacement's 580 6cc at about 32 brake horsepower. It'll get up to around about 48-50 miles an hour. About 48 miles an hour is quoted in high gear, and in low ratio about 28 miles an hour. So it certainly gets along. It's a powerful piece of kit. It certainly does its job for us here on the farmstead, and Dill usually likes to pee on the wheels. So let's have a look at the John Deere Gator 590i in a little bit more depth. Just looking at the inside of the Gator itself, it's got these curtain kind of doors on, which I suppose stop you falling out. They don't do too much for keeping the draft out, of course, but you can get proper doors that fit in here with perspex windows if you so desire. But when the temperature's like this, it's rather nice not to have doors or a windscreen. But we went out once and it started to rain fairly hard, and we were making our way back with some wood in the back here, and it started to rain, and it was like being hit by 1,000 needles as it was coming through the open area there, although it certainly wasn't raining particularly hard and we weren't going particularly fast. The dashboard itself is a fairly straightforward LCD affair. It gives you the temperature there on the left. It also gives you fuel, how many miles or kilos you've gone on the odo, and kilometers an hour. You can also change that to miles an hour should you decide, with the mode button there just to the right. Other standard features are the lights which we see at the front, and a horn. That's quite effective, that horn actually. Nice and loud. The other controls that you get on the Gator are this left hand lever here. Now that gives you a low ratio on the standard gearbox, high ratio, neutral, and reverse. The lever on the right, that does a little bit more. As you can probably see, you can select 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or 4-wheel drive rear diff lock. You've also got a charging point for any devices that you might have. Quite a handy glove compartment, to be absolutely honest with you. The controls down below are quite straightforward. You have on the right an accelerator, in the middle the foot brake, and you can just see on the left hand side there, that's in effect the hand brake, but that's the foot brake. You just press that and it locks the vehicle down when it's stationary. Nice wide field of view. You've got some good mirrors there, which give you excellent all-round vision. We'll have a look under the bonnet in a sec, see what you think. Quite a bit of storage on the Gator, apart from the carrying thing at the back. You've got almost like an under bonnet storage thing here that's quite easily accessed. You've got to also take off these pins for the bull bar. Bring that forward, and then quite simply lift that. So that gives you access to the radiator at the front, but a little bit of storage as well. Although, as you can see, it's not waterproof. An honest working vehicle, so people should see it in its true state. But all the serviceable things like coolant, oil, etc. are all nicely accessible. So it's by no means hidden away, and it's quite easy to get at. You also on the back have this. Just drops the back down, nice and steady. Very strong, that. When you're loading stones or wood or whatever you're doing into the back of this, it's a brilliant piece of kit. It does a fantastic job. You can fit all kinds of... Hello, Dale, what are you doing under there? You're nice and cool. You can fit all kinds of towing equipment to the back of this. You can get trailers, water bowsers, spraying equipment. You can even get a mowing attachment that you drag behind, rather like tractors do. Starting it up's fairly straightforward. All you need to do, make sure you've got a bit of fuel in there. You need to put your foot on the brake, on the foot brake as such, and then you can power it up from there. The lights on there. I haven't got my seat belt on, and the parking brake is on. The power steering on here is brilliant, nice and easy. When you get in some tight corners, which you tend to do with this type of equipment, it's very useful. Sounds really good. It will only rev a little bit because the foot brake's on, so that inhibits the engine. Just pull that up again. The engine there, doing its job. So that's the John Deere Gator 590i. Great piece of gear, thorough workhorse, but you can have fun. And we were about 3 years ago now, there was a massive storm here. In fact, it hit most of Central Europe, and we had 12-foot snowdrifts out the back. Just the standing snow was 6 and 7 feet deep, and nothing was moving anywhere for some considerable amount of time. After the snowplows managed to get up the road, the only vehicle that could get up and down the steep hills around here was this. It was the only vehicle out on the road, the only one capable. So if you're thinking about investing in something, have a look at a John Deere Gator. And what we're going to do next time is to take it up in the mountains and show you what this thing can really do when it wants to. So we got the message about having the weekend off in the really hot weather here. So continue to look on our Facebook page, that's important. I'll keep everybody posted there on what's going on. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. And this is Variostick saying ciao ciao for now.